Welcome back to our channel. Here, we explore a variety of topics ranging from science and technology to history and culture. With engaging videos, expert interviews, and informative content, we bring you the latest news and insights on the world's most fascinating subjects. So, whether you're a curious mind or a lifelong learner, join us on this journey of discovery and exploration. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay up to date with our latest uploads. Number 1. The Fall of the Berlin Wall 1989. The fall of the Berlin Wall, German, Mauerfall, on November 9, 1989, during the Peaceful Revolution, was a pivotal event in world history that marked the destruction of the Berlin Wall and the figurative Iron Curtain, and one of the series of events that started the fall of communism in Central and Eastern Europe, preceded by the Solidarity movement in Poland. The fall of the inner German border took place shortly afterward. An end to the Cold War was declared at the Malta summit 3 weeks later, and the German reunification took place in October of the following year. Number 2. The Gulf War 1990 to 1991. The Gulf War was a 1990 to 1991 armed campaign waged by a 35-country military coalition in response to the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait. Spearheaded by the United States, the coalition's efforts against Iraq were carried out in 2 key phases: Operation Desert Shield, which marked the military buildup from August 1990 to January 1991, and Operation Desert Storm, which began with the aerial bombing campaign against Iraq on January 17, 1991, and came to a close with the American-led liberation of Kuwait on February 28, 1991. Number 3. The election of Nelson Mandela as the President of South Africa 1994. The presidency of Nelson Mandela began on May 10, 1994, when Nelson Mandela, an anti-apartheid activist, leader of Umkhonto we Sizwe, lawyer, and former political prisoner, was inaugurated as President of South Africa and ended on June 14, 1999. He was the first non-white head of state in the history of South Africa, taking office at the age of 75. His age was taken into consideration as part of his decision to not seek re-election in 1999. Number 4. The globalization of the world economy, the 1980s to 2000s. Globalization or globalization is the process of interaction and integration among people, companies, and governments worldwide. The term globalization first appeared in the early 20th century, supplanting an earlier French term medialization, developed its current meaning sometime in the second half of the 20th century, and came into popular use in the 1990s to describe the unprecedented international connectivity of the post-Cold War world. This increase in global interactions has caused a growth in international trade and the exchange of ideas, beliefs, and cultures. However, disputes and international diplomacy are also large parts of the history of globalization and modern globalization. Number 5. The global superpowers. Currently, only the United States fulfills the criteria to be considered a superpower. However, the United States is no longer the only uncontested foremost superpower and the world's sole hyperpower to dominate in every domain. Since the 1990s, China, the European Union, India, and Russia have been commonly described as potential superpowers. Japan was formerly considered a potential superpower due to its high economic growth. However, its status as a potential superpower has eroded since the 1990s due to an aging population and economic stagnation. Number 6. The Digital Revolution 1990 to present. The digital revolution, also known as the Third Industrial Revolution, is the shift from mechanical and analog electronic technology to digital electronics, which began in the latter half of the 20th century, with the adoption and proliferation of digital computers and digital record-keeping that continues to the present day. Implicitly, the term also refers to the sweeping changes brought about by digital computing and communication technologies during this period. Number 7. The Arab Spring 2010 to 2012. The Arab Spring was a series of anti-government protests, uprisings, and armed rebellions that spread across much of the Arab world in the early 2010s. From Tunisia, the protests then spread to 5 other countries: Libya, Egypt, Yemen, Syria, and Bahrain. Rulers were deposed or major uprisings and social violence occurred, including riots, civil wars, or insurgencies. Sustained street demonstrations took place in Morocco, Iraq, Algeria, Lebanon, Jordan, Kuwait, Oman, and Sudan. Minor protests took place in Djibouti, Mauritania, Palestine, Saudi Arabia, and Moroccan-occupied Western Sahara. A major slogan of the demonstrators in the Arab world is "The people want to bring down the regime." Number 8. 2007 to 2008 financial crisis. The 2007 to 2008 financial crisis, or Global Financial Crisis (GFCE), was a severe worldwide economic crisis that occurred in the early 21st century. It was the most serious financial crisis since the Great Depression 1929. Predatory lending targeting low-income homebuyers, excessive risk-taking by global financial institutions, and the bursting of the United States housing bubble culminated in a perfect storm. Financial institutions worldwide suffered severe damage, reaching a climax with the bankruptcy of Lehman Brothers on September 15, 2008, and a subsequent international banking crisis. Number 9. The rise of social media 2000 to present. Various notable social media platforms such as MySpace and Facebook are developed and released, and blogging begins to gain popularity. Instant messaging platforms such as AOL Instant Messenger AIM and Windows Live Messenger also become increasingly popular. Wikipedia is launched in 2001. The 2010 many social media platforms that have remained are now thriving, and new ones are appearing sporadically. This includes popular blogs, instant messaging servers, and various social networking platforms such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Snapchat, and Twitter. With advances in smartphone technology, almost all social media services now have mobile apps. Number 10. The Kyoto Protocol 1997. The Kyoto Protocol was an international treaty that extended the 1992 United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change on KC that commits state parties to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, based on the scientific consensus that Part 1 global warming is occurring and Part 2 that human-made CO2 emissions are driving it. The Kyoto Protocol was adopted in Kyoto, Japan, on December 11, 1997 and entered into force on February 16, 2005. There were 192 parties. Canada withdrew from the protocol, effective December 2012 to the protocol in 2020. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. And if you want to stay up to date with our latest videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Also, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We appreciate your support and look forward to bringing you more exciting content in the future. Until next time, keep exploring.